the second article that I read was titled To Be Real, Antecedents and Consequences of Sexual Identity Disclosure by Academic Library Directors. So there's a lot of information in this article, but some of the key points were just kind of talking about sexual identity and how it affects people in the workplace and especially in a library profession. So what they did was they interviewed 12 people that were openly LGBT in the library profession already and kind of wanted to go over like sexual identity, how it impacts people. And what they found was a lot of what they were getting from the interviews and a lot of what ended up going into the article was about the whole like disclosure process or the coming out process surrounding people with differing sexual identities. And I think one of the things that needs to be talked about or that you can touch on is just how coming out is so hard to define and so hard to really paint a broad picture because it's different for everyone. The article talks about some people partially coming out, or they're how open is open, and you can be open in some areas of your life and not others, or also the fact that sexuality is fluid and can be fluid for some people, and it isn't always the same and it's always changing. And kind of that whole process of then do you come out, the differing things, or maybe you switch careers or you switch places of employment, and then it's a whole new process of coming out again, and just kind of how that can make relationships difficult. I think another thing to remember is that some people are virtually forced to disclose their identity by way of pronouns. When we say LGBT, that includes trans people and non-binary people. And the moment that they give their pronouns or indicate that they are trans or non-binary, that forces them out. And, I think there's a lot about labels that can be talked about, and not everybody likes labels, and some people find them really important and some people don't want them. So coming out is completely different for them, and I think sometimes looping everybody in a queer circle under the same umbrella in an article like this can be frustrating because it is so different for everybody, and everybody's has a unique experience within that community and within their workplace. Some workplaces seem more open with it and some do not. And I think, it's just one of those things that's kind of hard to talk about. I want to find it here. The article talks about how sexuality can often be considered a hidden identity, and I wonder if I can find it. And it talks about it being a difference that you can hide. Whereas somebody who sees someone's skin color, that's going to be something that they might be more prone to assume right away. You wouldn't necessarily be able to assume someone's sexuality right away, which oftentimes that's why people feel like they have to come out, because if they don't say something, you would never know. So it's just, there's a lot to explore within the article itself and within the whole concept of sexuality disclosure within a workplace. And I think leading into, my future in a career with the library, it comes down to individual relationships, and then it comes down to the atmosphere that you build and create within the library itself, and making people comfortable to disclose or not disclose however they would like.